This is episode 2228 of the Daily Meditation Podcast. I'm Mary Meckley, and I welcome you to the final episode in our series on how to manage your top stressors. And this is day 7, the final day. All week long, you have discovered meditation techniques and insight to calm your mind and body to help you manage top stress triggers. And along with your top stressors that you may be experiencing right now, there's also the stress of dealing with a global pandemic and the fear and uncertainty. That is the focus for today's meditation. You're going to be guided using a technique to help you manage the fear and uncertainty you may be experiencing during these unusual times. And I want to share with you a message from your fellow listener, Evelyn. Evelyn is from Monrovia, California. And she reached out to me on my Sip and Om Instagram account, which you can do too. I'd love to hear about your meditation journey. I would love to share it with your fellow meditators, or simply keep it private if you just want to share it with me. I always ask your permission before I share anything here on the podcast. So Evelyn reaches out and says, I am so thankful to have found you. I have found you at my darkest time. My entire family and myself have been battling COVID since Christmas. We have a family member who is battling in the ICU. This has triggered my anxiety at an all-time high. It seems as if my anxiety happens at night when it's time for bed. Your podcast has been my salvation in more than one occasion. It seems as if I'm afraid as soon as bedtime approaches. I have experienced anxiety for many years and learned to control it quite well. I learned to take control so much that it was gone for a few years. But with everything going on in my life, it came back stronger and much more scary than I remember it. I found myself helpless and unable to help myself and to be understood by my family, and this causes my shame and even guilt. I'm writing just to thank you for being here. Evelyn also has a message personally for you. She says, to any listeners out there who are battling COVID, please know I'm praying for you. Evelyn, I want to thank you so much for your message, for sharing what you're going through right now, because that is what you're going to be guided through in today's meditation. How to manage stress and anxiety during these unusual times. One of the best ways to manage any kind of stress, and even if you're not experiencing your stress, one of the best ways to live your life, according to many top thinkers, including spiritual and religious leaders, including psychologists and other people who have achieved great success in their lives, is simply to focus on what you can do now. Not worrying about what may have happened in the past, and not worrying about the future. If you can wake up every single day and think about what it is you need to do that day, and then to do it to the best of your ability. That's all that's ever required of you. And if you'd like to layer in a few ways to enhance your lifestyle, help others, think about who you could help, who could you support. And when you do this, you make the world around you a better place, which makes you enjoy your life more. So wake up each morning thinking about what it is you need to do and do it to the best of your ability. And then, as you go to bed each night, here is a powerful technique you can do. I'm sharing this with you from Paramahansa Yogananda, who wrote the classic, timeless autobiography of a yogi. This is reported to be the only book on Steve Jobs' phone when he died. So here is what Paramahansa Yogananda has to say about doing a daily or at least a weekly introspection. He says, "Keep a diary. All earnest students should keep a record or at least a mental diary of their changing tendencies, marking out their progress in the development of any good qualities which they may lack and which they are trying to cultivate. Before you go to bed each night, sit for a short time and review the day. See what you are becoming. Do you like the trend of your life? If not, change it. By self-analysis and constant watching of all your actions and thoughts and moods, you will gradually learn your true nature and how to express it flawlessly." And this is what we do in the final episode of every series, this introspection. Paramahansa Yogananda goes on to say, "The practice of introspection helps people in freeing their soul and will from ignorance, undesirable environmental influences, slavish customs, bad habits, and entanglements. By teaching them to understand and develop all the possibilities of their real soul nature, and by pointing out and eliminating their bad habits and tendencies." So I invite you now to make yourself comfortable and to close your eyes, gently elevating them upward. This keeps your thoughts uplifted as you sit in stillness. Notice where you're holding tension in your body at this moment. Reflect on what may have caused this tension. Now, reflect over this past week, recalling the different highlights and significant moments. Not reflecting on everything that comes to mind, simply select a few instances when you were able to manage your stress very well. Now reflect on the times this week when it was difficult to manage your stress. No shame or blame, just awareness. Think about what you might have done better and what you will do better next time. as you sit in stillness, celebrate and honor yourself for all your big wins at managing stress and for all the lessons you learned and the awareness you gained. Continue to sit in stillness for as long as you feel comfortable doing so. You are so worth slowing down for.